Good morning, and doing a little bit of late night video making today. So here's your latest weather update. But first of all, I'm just going to go through some of the rainfall totals that we have seen in large amounts of Queensland here. Now, this is the last week's rainfall. So what we've got here, this is courtesy of the Weather Chaser website, and these are weekly rainfall totals for the numerous weather stations around the state. So we can see there's a lot of under 50, quite a fair bit over 50, and down here towards the border and somewhat into southeast Queensland, we have over 100 mils. There's Coolangatta 365. I'm not sure how accurate that is. It seems a bit of an outlier there. I will have to have a look into that, and but I don't think that one's right. Especially considered like 128, 127, 127, 135 around it. So that seems a little bit of an error, which happens occasionally. But a fair good drink over the last week with the numerous storms and things passing through. So that's not a bad end to the month, really. That's pretty good. So let's move on. Okay, we've moved on to the using weather zone layers here, and we're just going to have a look at the storm potential for, first of all, tomorrow afternoon. Not a huge amount happening around the country. There's a chance of a few storms around the top end region up here, and also around Cape York and down the coast, east coast of Queensland. But if we move on to Friday afternoon, now we've still got the chance of storms up in the top end and over in Kimberley. There's also a chance of some storms with a cold front in southwest WA over here. Nothing too severe, more than likely, but as with cold fronts, you can get some squally showers and things coming in, so that could be what that's picking up with the sweat index here. Over in East Queensland and Cape York, we've got some decent sweats, so there's a chance of a bit of thunderstorm activity around here on Friday in the afternoon, and we will move to the day that everybody is probably waiting to hear about, because there's been a lot being said lately. So, moving on to Saturday. And there we go. Massive increase in sweat value. Now, if we have a look at the thunderstorm outlook here for southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales, it's looking like a pretty big day again for storms. Now, I've looked at a few other indicators. For example, the storm relative helicity and stuff like that. And it's looking pretty good for some supercell development in places. But there should be a fair few severe warnings issued throughout the day for other severe storms as well. But there's definitely some potential for another bout of supercells, which is not unusual at this time of year, especially late October into November. That's kind of the peak supercell season around in southeast Queensland. The conditions can go into early summer occasionally, but and even into late December, as December 2023 is a prime example of recent years, where we had a number of storm days. But anyway, that's a bit irrelevant. I started rambling, but anyway. So yeah, we have a big potential around, especially the inland areas. If we just take that off. So we've got the heavy sweat index around here, quite high. And if we just quickly swap to the Cape, so we've got abundance of Cape. So we've got a trough that's going to lay kind of around here, so down through Injune, Roma, Surat, down to Goondiwindi and Ashford in New South Wales. So this will cause some of the storms to get formed along that dry line. So they will take advantage of this energy in the atmosphere here. So yeah, this is looking like a decent day for storms again, and it's a weekend, so any storm chasers that have weekday work will have the opportunity to do a bit of chasing, so that'll be good. And let's just look at the good old lifted index as well. So that's pretty good looking as well around these areas. Okay, so I'm just going to focus a little bit on my local area up in Top End. Now, after what's been a terrible, probably about a week, we've had nothing up here whatsoever, which isn't unusual in October. And a friend of mine, Mike O'Neill, always makes this point with the rainfall onset. Now, I've seen over 77 mil this month, so it's broken the rainfall onset the BOM have, but it really is kind of useless measure because you again get massive dry periods between them and everything just dries up. So it's a kind of irrelevant measure, but it's just something I wanted to kind of point out, and he's pretty much correct in that assessment, especially for us up here. Anyhow, so yesterday, or Tuesday, I should say, not yesterday because yesterday was Wednesday. Tuesday, we saw a few storms bubble up just inland. I did notice them on the radar because I heard them, and I was like, "Ooh, where's that?" But today we had quite a bit of cloud cover around, or yesterday, I should say, Wednesday. But moving forward, we have some storms possible across the region on Thursday and into Friday and into Saturday. Nothing as exciting as down in southeast Queensland, but as we just look forward, and there's a reason why I have Cape behind it, and that's another point I'm going to come up with in a minute. So we're just looking to Friday here. So this is Thursday, about 3:30. Now we're looking to Friday. Now we've got some storms likely across the band through here. It does say severe possible just down here, but we probably won't see too severe activity up here. It's a completely different ball game, storms up in the top end than it is elsewhere. And then we're just going to Saturday. And once again, storms are possible across the northwest top end here. Now, as I said, I was going to bring up the Cape because a lot of people like to focus on Cape. Now, you saw the possible storm outlook, and you've seen the high sweat index down in southeast Queensland compared to the actual sweat. No, compared to the Cape. And you saw that the Cape was around 2,000 something, and the sweat was pretty high. Now, let's take a look at the decent day on Friday. Now, as you can see, the outlooks have pretty high Cape. Now, someone down in more southern regions would be wetting their pants right about now because that looks massive. But on a severe weather point of view, there's a sweat index, pretty low. It's nothing, nothing too exciting. It's because we get massive Cape values up here, but it doesn't equal severe thunderstorms because it's a completely different ball game up here. So I just wanted to kind of make that point that that a lot of people are or do focus on Cape so much, but Cape is really one out of like 5 or 6 measures. If you really wanted to get into a lot of detail, probably even more than that. That brings it all together, like, so when a forecaster or a storm chaser is looking, you've got to know, your local area or whatnot. So yeah, Cape values are not the end all be all kind of thing. And so yeah, this is a prime example of how high Cape gets up here. And you even look at this 4,000 in places, and then the thunderstorms likely, but there's no severe possible, because it's just, yeah, it's not, the Cape's there, but the other bits and pieces don't come together to make severe thunderstorms. You just get like, a few pulse storms and maybe a few multi-cell storms, but that's about all you've get up here. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up and explain a few things. I mean, there's much more to it, and one day I will actually get around to doing up my article on my website that gives you details of how thunderstorms form, what's needed, what will kill them, what will stop storms forming. Some days you get perfect conditions, but nothing happens, and I'll be talking about why that is usually the case. But anyway, that's about enough for me. A bit of rambling, a bit of educational bits, and a bit of, yeah. Have a good one, and I will make sure we have live coverage for any big storms and stuff that happen anywhere in the country. I know it's been mostly southeast Queensland recently, but if we see it happening anywhere else, Melbourne, Sydney, even Perth, Adelaide, anywhere, we will cover it. So make sure you give us a follow, give us a subscribe, and yeah, we will keep you as up to date as we possibly can. Thank you once again for listening.